Brooklyn. NBA champion Kendrick Perkins back here with us. Big Perk, always good to see you. But Max, I'm going to start with you. Your former team that you abandoned for the new shiny thing in California, Max, has Leon Rose started to turn the Knicks around.
Best day of my life. Yeah. No. Well,
are you going to answer the question?
Are they heading in the right
direction? Or just brag
direction?
about how you became a Lakers fan?
Are they heading in the right? Are they heading in the right direction? The answer is yes. They are heading in the right direction. They have so long to go, it's not even funny. And surely James Dolan will lose patience on the way and blow it all up again. So is there any championship hopes in the future for Knicks fans? The answer is no. But are they going to be better than they were? Well, how hard is that? Like, they're always, they have bad luck in the draft lottery, and they don't know how to identify talent, and they haven't been able to really develop it either. And when they somehow luck into it, they lose it for nothing. Jeremy Lin, they lucked into, right? And obviously, Kristaps Porzingis is actually a star player. They basically lose for nothing. So it ain't going to work. But is it good to hire a coach that makes guys play hard? Yes, it is. Is Toppin a good pick? I think he was. Is signing Hayward, an above-average player, but not an all-star anymore, to a max contract, overpaying for him so you can get some veteran leadership, some passing, some scoring in the open court, stuff like that? Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. The Knicks will never win a championship so long as Dolan is the owner. He will grow weary of this process eventually. But coming from the very, very bottom, there's literally nowhere to go but up. But to be fair to the current regime, they have managed to somehow destroy that theory at times. So you're like, how could they go down? They've managed to burrow even further. So at least this is not that, it appears to me.
Oh, nobody wants to hear what you have to say about the New York Knicks. Why don't you just pack your bags and go to L.A.? Why don't you do that, Max? I mean, you betrayed us already, Max. You betrayed us already. I mean, listen, I understand how bad the New York Knicks are. We all know how bad the New York Knicks are, okay? But, I mean, damn. You're going to sit up there, leave New York, you go to the Lakers, you become a Laker fan. While being a Laker fan, you sit up there and you ignore that LeBron is the best in the world, proclaim Kawhi Leonard to be so, pick the Clippers to win the championship. You're wrong. You just say oops, and then all right, let me move on. But by the way, while I'm living back in New York, let me talk about the New York Knicks like trash. Nobody wants to hear that from you. Why don't you pack your bags and move to LA? Why don't you do that, Max? You have betrayed New Yorkers. Now let me say this. I understand what you're saying about Dolan and Denver.
The guy who's in LA more than anyone.
Be quiet, I'm talking. Be quiet, I'm talking. I said you're right. I agree with you about Dolan. Damn it, it hurts, okay? It hurts. But the point is, you're right. Here's the thing that I'm trying to say. Can we crawl before we walk? Can we do that? When a baby sits up there and stands up for the first time, even though they're wobbling, aren't you happy to see them stand up? I mean, my God, the New York Knicks have stunk up the joint for so long. Now we got Leon Rose. First of all, sound basketball mind. We got the ultimate recruiter in Worldwide William Wesley. You get rid of 7 different players to create $40 million in cap space. You draft a box office attraction in Obi Toppin, even though I thought it should have been Halliburton. But I know Obi Toppin is Brooklyn born, Brooklyn bred, and he could play, and he's a Skywalker. But I mean, damn, you know what? If the New York Knicks made the playoffs, I think that's a cause for, it's been so bad, that might be a cause for a parade. So let's stop talking about championship,
you talk about
and let's
crawling.
just keep ourselves and just say, yo, maybe, just maybe, someday soon they might make the playoffs, so we'll have a reason to look at them with some degree of respect. Can we just stop there and stop mentioning championship that we know is far, far, far away? Can we do that?
Perk, can I just say something real quick? Perk, I understand Stephen A's analogy when a baby starts to stand after crawling, or a baby starts to crawl. But I'm 47 years old. The Knicks have not won a championship in my lifetime. If a 47-year-old starts to crawl, you might be like, damn, he should be walking and running around by now, right?
Why don't you just
That's
leave?
What this is, a 47-year-old crawling.
Just leave. Go get out of town. Go ahead, Kurt.
Well, look,
Go ahead.
Stephen A. Let me tell you what it is about Max. Right? Max have a personal beef with Dolan. Leave the beef in the freezer right now next to the chicken, Max. It's no time for that, okay? Look, Leon Rose and Worldwide West are doing a hell of a job right now, and they started from the bottom, like you said, but they went and got a coach in Tom Thibodeau who's all about culture. He's all about culture, a winning coach with a winning record who knows he's been out the game for 2 years, so he had time to reevaluate himself and know that this is a new this is a new generation of players, that he can't practice at shoot-arounds, that he have to take it light on their bodies. He knows this now. Now you look at the Knicks roster. You look at a guy like Mitchell Robinson, pair him up with O.B. Toppin at the 4. You're looking at a semi-lob city. They're going to be snatching the screws out the rim. You talking about excitement. That's what the Knicks have been missing. And then you have a guy in R.J. Barrett who's coming back in his second year, who did pretty good last year as a rookie. He's coming back. He's going to be even better. And now, like Stephen A. Smith said, you have $40 million in cap space to go out there and sign someone, a Gordon Hayward maybe a Fred VanVleet, and go get some energy and some good production at the guard and wing position. And then you still have a guy who I think is undervalued and underappreciated in Mo Harkless, who the Clippers really didn't want to give up. Doc Rivers really didn't want to give up Mo Harkless, and I thought they dropped the ball when they let him go. So you look at the foundation and you look at the structure of the Knicks right now, and look, you should be proud, Max, but once again, your loyalty is not there. And Stephen A., I don't know how Max was a Laker fan. He was cheering for the Clippers all year long. So you just bouncing around, Max. Whatever is hot, that's what you on right now. Oh, this is popping. Let me go here. Oh, no, that's dead.
Now, let me tell you something first. Let me tell you something. That is the sorriest defense of the Knicks I could. That is so hilarious that sounded like a defense of the Knicks. Think about what you just said. R.J. Barrett was disappointing as a rookie. I mean, I know he's a rookie. He's young. He can get better. Considering his draft position, let's just be honest. We were expecting a little more than that. If you had to say, did he exceed, meet, or come below expectations? Well, I was. Okay. Mitchell Robinson's a nice player. He's a rotation piece on a good team, probably not a starter. Toppin, we'll see what he is. Hopefully he's really good. I'm actually excited to watch him play. I am with you on Toppin. Who else are we talking about? Let's sign an above-average but not all-star player to a max contract. Y'all are celebrating this like it's something? That's garbage. What are you talking about? Any other franchise would be like, this is
more than nothing. It's more than nothing, Max. It's something. It's a starting point. And let me tell you something about R.J. Barrett. While you sitting up there trying to criticize him, he didn't have structure. The Knicks was dysfunctional last year. How you expect a rookie to come in and have any type of success when he didn't have any type of leadership whatsoever?
Max, let me tell you the other point that I like that KP. Hold on, Max. Let me tell you the other point I like that KP made. When KP brought up Tom Thibodeau, if you will recall, Max, the Boston Celtics won the title 2007, 2008. Okay, they went 66-16. Who was in the starting lineup for 78 games that year? All 78 games he played. That would be Kendrick Perkins. Who was your defensive coordinator? That would be Tom Thibodeau. He would know a thing or two about Tom Thibodeau. And when he says that Tom Thibodeau has learned the error of his ways, I think that's a pivotal point, because the only knock against Tom Thibodeau has never been his knowledge, has never been culture, being the culture setter that he is. It's been the fact that he was so hard-nosed, and the fact that Kendrick is saying he might have learned how to lighten up on the bodies of his players. That's a big, big deal that can ultimately work to the New York Knicks' advantage eventually.
Well, Stephen A., I'm telling you, this is what I know from having conversations with Tibbs. You know, me and Tibbs have a close relationship, and I didn't have multiple conversations with him about that. Hey, Tibbs, you got to fall back, and you got to adjust. If the great Greg Popovich had to adjust his style of coaching. I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau is going to do the same. But Max, you know what? I don't know what to say about you. You are disloyal, and you need to put your beef back in the refrigerator, like I just told you, because you just got something against Dolan.
As soon as Dolan apologizes to Charles Oakley publicly, we can start to talk about that.
You still wouldn't forgive him.
But in the meantime, it's a Nets town. Don't blame the Knicks.
You got much more problems with Dolan than just that.
It'd be a start.
That is not accurate.
It would be a start.
The
it would be like
tension is so thick I could cut it with a knife.
You betrayed New
All
Yorkers.
Right. We'll leave it there.
Get him out of town. Get Max out of town. Get him out of town.
I'm the voice of New York.
Oh, he's the voice of New York now. Bye, Perk. I'll miss you, Perk. We'll see you Monday. Plenty more NFL to talk about here.